Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If this is your first time joining, my name is Vinny, and today we're talking watches. More specifically, we're talking the Rolex Submariner 114060. This is my personal watch. I bought this back in April for my 25th birthday, and I've had enough time with it now to be able to give you guys a decent review and my personal opinions on how much I like this watch, pros and cons of it, and so on and so forth. And if you're in the market for one, this video may help you decide between whether this is the right watch or to continue looking for something else. Now, of course, to my audience who's with me all the time, I apologize for not uploading sooner. I've been very busy. I've been golfing, I've been camping, I've been hiking, so I've been out a lot. And as you can see, I've got I've been spending a lot of time in the sun basically. So now things are settling down, I'm back home, I'm able to get some more content out to you guys. So I want to apologize for that really quickly, but let's go ahead and jump into this video. How much do I actually like the Submariner? Now I didn't buy this watch from an AD, so I didn't get a chance to actually try it on and do all that kind of stuff. I ended up buying it from a secondary reseller or a gray market dealer. And I remember when I did the unboxing video, I told you guys I would tell you what I paid for this watch, because again, I did buy it on a secondary market. So I ended up paying about $8,500 for this watch, and it was in new condition. So it's pretty similar to what I would have paid if I picked it up from an AD. This is dated February of this year, 2020. If I had been able to buy it from my local AD, I would have paid $7,900 plus about 9.5% tax, sales tax here. So I actually paid just about a little less than what I would have paid at an AD, and I didn't have to wait for it. I just wanted to buy it. So I got it for my birthday, my 25th birthday back in April, and I thought I was going to absolutely love this watch. I thought it was gonna be my end all be all. I thought it would be enough, and I wouldn't want any other watches. After owning it for a few months, I want to go ahead and revisit my opinion, how much do I actually like this watch. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in, get a closer look at the Rolex Submariner, and let's talk about the pros and the cons of this watch, things that I found over the last few months of ownership. All right, here we are. We have a closer look. And for my returning visitors, can we all just take a moment to appreciate the new backdrop? We have a fake black leather desktop mat, which just, it looks a lot better than the white towel we used to use prior to. So here is the Rolex Submariner 114060, and this one is a 40mm watch, which is definitely a pro because the size for this piece is just absolutely perfect on any size wrist. I have a 6.5 inch wrist, and it fits perfectly fine. If it was to drop down to a 39mm at one point, it would probably fit even better. But even at the 40mm on my wrist, it fits just okay. So if you have 6.5 inch wrist, even slightly smaller, you're okay on this. If you have a bigger wrist, even better. It's gonna look even better on you. So that's one pro, is the great size of the watch itself. Another big pro for this watch is the bracelet. This oyster bracelet is absolutely incredible, and the glide lock system that this watch has is awesome. You clip this out and you could easily adjust the watch to any size wrist, even probably about an inch larger, if not more, by simply just gliding this piece back and forth. And when you're done, you just glide it right back, snap into place, and boom, you're done. Now, of course, the original intended purpose of the glide lock is for a wetsuit. You can just unclip it, make the watch much larger, or the bracelet much larger, and then fit it over your wetsuit when you're diving, because that is what this watch is all about. It is a diving watch. Now, moving forward, another big pro of this watch is the presence that this watch has on your wrist. The new Cerachrome bezel here in some lights will look gray, and in other lights, it'll absolutely look pure black, dark black. It's just awesome. I think it has to do something with the new materials that they used in the bezel here. Not only is it extremely scratch resistant, I've been wearing this watch quite a bit, and there's absolutely no scratches on the sapphire or the bezel at all. It is very durable in that sense. The whole watch itself is 904L steel, the bracelet and the casing. It's just such a noticeable watch. When you're wearing this, people are gonna know. It is very iconic, if not the most iconic watch ever made. So yeah, that definitely has something going for it, is the presence that it has on your wrist. Now, along with that is the materials used. So this Cerachrome is part ceramic, and also the number inserts here are platinum. So it has a different type of sheen to it other than, let's say, a silver or something like that. Just looks incredible in certain lighting. So the materials on this watch are absolutely A1. Of course, the bracelet and the casing is all 904L steel, and the hour markers and the hands are all white gold filled with lume. So of course, when the light gets dark, you can still see what time it is. And of course, here's a closer look at that. Those hour markers and those hands, again, white gold, absolutely gorgeous. And the watch itself is just a beauty to look at. Again, in certain lights it'll look gray, in other lights it'll look completely black, just depending on how the lighting is hitting that Cerachrome bezel there. So yeah, presence, amazing bracelet, great size. What's next? This watch has an awesome heritage. So the no date version is actually how the Submariner was originally introduced, and this is a big reason as to why I got the no date version, is again to play to that heritage. The date variation was added on later, but originally the no date is exactly how the Submariner was intended to be made and how it was originally introduced into the Rolex lineup. So this watch does have awesome heritage to go along with it. But again, the quality of the build finish is absolutely incredible. The rotating bezel has 120 clicks, so it's about every half second here, as you can see here. Every 2 clicks will be 1 second. Again, this is used for diving to time how much air is left in your tanks, but the quality, you can hear the sound here. Just done absolutely beautifully. The Cerachrome bezel is very fingerprint prone. As you can see, if I put my finger on it, you can most likely see there's a little fingerprint that pops up on it. But other than that, it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, one of the also awesome parts about this watch is that it can be totally used as a daily. Although it doesn't have a date function, you don't absolutely need it. You can get the date variation of this watch, which would also make it very usable as a daily. Due to its color, you can match this with any clothing, any outfit really. This black dial and black bezel will match just fine. So in the sense that it's going to match your clothes, it does make a great daily. Adding on to that though, if you do have other watches in your collection, this watch is an awesome addition, because if you don't wear it all the time, you do wear it in rotation, you can simply just pick it up, set the time and go. You don't have to set the date. For instance, like my Explorer 2, sometimes I don't wear it for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, and I have to set the date before I head out if I do decide to put that watch on. So unlike that, the Submariner no date, you can just kind of pick up and go right away. There's no delay with having to set the date. However, if you did like the date, you could simply pick up the date variation of the Submariner, which again would make an awesome daily, especially if it's your one watch collection, which this watch can definitely be. Now, with all the pros that we just talked about, there are some cons that come along with it. Again, the date only can be a double-edged sword. If you wanted the date, then you have to go with the date variation of this watch, which then ruins somewhat of the symmetry by putting a cyclops at the 3 o'clock. I think a big part of this watch that makes it so beautiful is the fact that it is extremely symmetrical without the date cyclops. So, but you know, it is a double-edged sword again, because this price for this watch is $7,900 retail, which is a good chunk of money, considering this watch only comes with time only. There's no complication, there's no nothing else, which I think as you start to accumulate a few other pieces, some watches that have date functions that are less expensive or GMT functions that are slightly more, you start to realize that, okay, well, you know, as far as bang for buck goes, this is an almost $8,000 watch, and you're only getting a time-only function. There's no other complications that come along with it, especially when you start to have other pieces like this. If you have the Black Bay, for instance, which I just recently bought for $4,000, then it starts to put in perspective. This is $8,000, this is $4,000. Besides the materials, you know, there's no additional complication to the Rolex Submariner. So it's kind of hard to sometimes justify paying that $8,000 price tag, if not more, if you're buying from a reseller, because they are pretty hard to get. But of course, along with that comes the name and the prestigious heritage that this watch brings with it. So it definitely depends on each person and their perspective. But again, of course, I bought one. But it's things that you start to realize as you accumulate other pieces. And of course, earlier we talked about the presence that this watch has on your wrist. With that being said, I'm noticing more and more people wearing them. But again, there's a reason for it. This watch is absolutely incredible. If you think about buying one and you're okay with the price tag for a time-only watch, or if you're willing to spend an extra $1,000 and get the date function, just be ready to see other people wearing these. Not everyone has a ceramic version. I've seen more and more the aluminum bezel version out there. But nonetheless, you know, the Submariner is an extremely popular watch. So if you're someone who wants to wear a watch that is extremely unique, this probably isn't the one for you. But again, with that being said, it's popular for a reason. It really is just that good of a watch. And you could just have this as a one watch collection if you wanted to. So with that being said, the Rolex Submariner is an absolute stunning piece, and I do recommend it if you're in the market for it. However, take into account the pros and cons that I talked about. The pros being the fact that it's a great size. The 40mm is an awesome size. It's a sweet spot for most people. The bracelet is absolutely amazing. The glide lock is awesome, super easy and adjustable on the go. You don't actually have to have any tools with you to do it. It just adjusts very easily. And of course, the heritage and the presence that comes with this watch, you are going to be noticed. People who like watches are going to know what is on your wrist. So just be ready for that. With that being said, there are some cons, of course. The price, take into account that it is only time only. There's no other complications with it. And of course, if you're someone who likes to be unique, this might not be the watch because a lot of people have them. With good reason, it is really just that good of a watch. It can be your only watch. If you don't have any, this is a great first watch that you could probably keep and not have a need for any other watches. But again, we're watch guys, and you know how that goes. You buy one, next thing you know, you have 3 or 4. Now to wrap this video up, if you guys are interested in what I do for work and how I afford all these watches, I'm wearing my tutor now. Here's my Submariner. I do get a couple questions about what I do for a living, and one of the things that I do to fund my watch obsession is I run an e-commerce business based on Amazon. If you guys are more interested in learning about that, I have a very detailed video. It'll be a link in the description below. You can go ahead and check out what I do and how to possibly start your own Amazon business. Like I said, I buy a lot of my watches with the income that I make from my Amazon business. It's just a side hustle for me. But if that's something you're interested in, make sure you take a look in the description below and watch the video. It's really, really concise. And of course, as always, if you could please like the video, it helps me tremendously. I'm now trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. So if you could hit the like button, that'd be awesome, and it would be much appreciated. If you have any questions or comments about this watch, let's say something I didn't cover in this video, drop a comment below. I will make sure to reply to you guys. And of course, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date with more videos. I will probably be making one for the tutor soon enough, or probably I might compare the two, I'm not sure. But make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.